Hello everyone, this is the sixth part of our COVID-19 data tracker app which I are building, and so far we have done this page and in this video I'm going to create this UI and also gonna implement the block, already created block for this class. So let's do it. Now I have already created the UI here, not implemented the block yet, but created the UI here, as the focus of this video is not UI but the block. So I have created the UI for the list view. Here it is, build Corona countries list. This will take a list of country, and then I am simply returning a ListView.builder where we have the list view items. As you can see, I will put the source code in the description text, so don't worry, you can go through this, and this is really a simple UI, not complicated at all. So I already have created this list, and I'm now directly going to the block part. Also, let me explain the UI a little bit. Here we have two variables for screen height and width. We have initialized those variables here inside the build folder, build method, and then I have a variable, boolean variable is searching, which is initially false, and then a text editing controller and a list, empty list of countries. So we have these three variables basically for the searching functionality here for this one. So initially the is searching is false, and we have a text editing controller which we're gonna use in this text field, and then we have a empty list which is also for this filter option, search option. Now let me explain the app bar a bit. App bar, we have given a color here, and then for title we are checking the value of this boolean is searching. So if it is false, initially it is false, remember. So if it is false, we're gonna show this text widget, which is this one. Initially the is searching is false, and then we are showing this text widget, and then if it is not false, if it is true, then we are showing this text field with a cross button here. Okay, and now and also here where we are actually changing this value, is searching value, and we are actually changing this value inside the unpressed of the icons. As you can see, this is the search icon, and unpressed of the icon we are changing the value of the is searching boolean to true, and also on click of this cross button we are changing the value to false. So actually we are getting the appropriate widgets based on that value. Sometimes this text widget and sometimes this text field. So that's all about the UI I have explained. This is the list view, and this is the dynamic app bar, you can say. And now let's implement the countries block here. So we have a single child scroll view. If you can see, as the body of the scaffold we have a single child scroll view, and inside it we have a container which is mainly for adding a background color, and we have given it a height which is a screen height. And then let's check the state of the block. So for that, block Flutter block provides us a widget which is block builder. Now here we should specify the block and the state. So here the block is Corona countries. Just let me check the block name. Corona countries block. And the state is Corona country state, maybe. I always forget the name of the states and the events. Corona summary state. No, not this one. Not this one. Corona countries state. So close all this. Let's import the file. Okay, inside the builder, block builder, use this builder, which will take a context and state, and now we can check all the possible states. So if the state is let's check again all the states. Corona countries loading. So if the state is Corona countries loading, you're gonna show a widget for that, and else if the state is Corona countries loaded, maybe. Corona countries loaded, and another one for the failure. VS Code is not showing suggestion, that's why the problem. And also I can remember the name not at all. And then we have two more states here for filtering, so let's add those states as well. And finally, else if the state is no countries found, then we're gonna show, now we're gonna show appropriate UI based on the states. Now for loading state, we can simply return the loading UI which we have created before, built loading UI. And for failure, we can simply return the failure UI. Return build failure error UI, maybe. Yeah. So message, extract the message from the state, and then I'll come to this part later for in the search options. And finally, if the loading is successful, we're gonna simply return this widget, which is nothing but a list view, and we are taking a list of countries inside the parameter. So let's return that list view from here. Build Corona countries list and pass the list of countries from the states. Okay, done. Now now the remaining part is filtering options. Also, let's return widget for this one. Simply return a build error UI, which will show us that no countries found. Okay, now what about the searching option? So for searching, I have created as what it's called list. Also, we need to create the instance of the block, which we have not created yet. We need to create the instance of the block, and then we need to add the events, otherwise our blocks won't be called. So let's create the instance of the block, which is CoronaCountriesBloc, if I can remember. CoronaCountriesBloc. I'm doing a lot of mistake in the typing today. CoronaCountriesBloc. Let's initialize it inside the init state. CoronaCountriesBloc is equal block provider dot of context, and then specify the name of the block, which is Corona I don't know why I'm doing a lot of mistake typo. So I have initialized the block, and also we need to add the event. So what is the event for this screen? The event is, if you can remember, probably fetch countries. What is that event? Fetch corona countries. Okay. Okay, now let's add that event here, and we are done. Lot of mistake, typo mistake all the time today. Okay, now we have added our block here for searching the list of the country, and we are using the block builder for searching the for fetching the list of the countries. Now only part remaining here is the filtering options. How can we actually filter with the list? So for filtering, my thinking is that we're gonna filter across the fetched list. If you can remember, we have add that thing in the data source, in the repository. We actually filtering across the fetched data. So for filtering, what we can do is that we can go to the search button here. In the search button, we have set the searching value, boolean value, to true, and then we can call the block, and we can call the block. So how can we call the block from here? Okay, so if you can remember, here is a text field, which is basically for searching the text, searching the countries. Here text field has a property onChanged, and inside this we're gonna add the block event for searching countries. So CoronaCountriesBloc dot add the event, which is filter country, yeah, filter country, and we have to pass the search text and the list. Search text is this one, this value is the search text, and also we need to pass a list which is already populated. So how can we pass a populated list here? So for that reason I have created a list, empty list here, which will actually be populated inside this state, which is Corona countries loaded state. Inside this state, that empty list gonna be populated, right? So you can populate it here, state dot countries. Simple. Now we have a list of countries, and now you can pass that list simply to this block. That's it. That's the reason I created an empty list here, right? So what else remaining? If you check the event here, you have an event for the cross button pressed, also an event for corona update of a country. Actually we don't need this event anymore. We can simply open the details page. We don't need this event at all, so not needed, at least now. So now let's add this event, which is cross button pressed. Let me show the UI. Here is the search functionality. We can search for countries, and if we press the cross button, it will show the previous list, I mean the full list of the country. Now let's add that event here on press of the cross icon, which is here. Okay, now let's add this event, and that event which is cross button pressed, cross button pressed. Okay, so far so good. We are done with the list page. Let me recap once again. Initially we have created also we have not added the on pressed event with the list, maybe. Yeah, here this equal is at the top of the list item. Okay, at the top of the list item, and on press of that item we are actually want to navigate to a details page. I already have created that page as well. This is really simple UI, nothing complicated, just populating the UI appropriately. We are getting the data from this country object, which we are actually passing from this page. If you can if you see here, on pressed of the list item, which is actually here, on pressed of the list item, I am calling this function. This function is nothing but navigating to a details, to the details page, and there we are passing the country object, and I am following the simple way of navigating, not named route and others. So simple way, just navigate to the details page and also pass the country object. So let's recap from the beginning. We are having this widget, which is a list view with where we're gonna show the list of the countries, and then we have an app bar which is checking a boolean value. Based on that value, we're gonna show text widget or a text field widget. Text field widget is for searching. Okay, and then inside the body we are using the block builder. We have not returned the list view here. So inside the body we are using the block builder, and we are checking all the possible states and simply returning the UI for the states. Okay, so simple. And for filtering option, for filtering we have this text field, and on change of the text field we are adding the BLoC here, which will return the matched countries. Okay, and also at the init state of the stateful widget we are adding the fetch countries event. So far so good. We are done with both the pages. This page, summary page, and the list page is done. Everything is done. Now the only thing remaining is that we need to set up the bottom navigation, and then we can hook up these pages there. So that part I will do in the next video. So in the meantime, if you do like what you saw, please subscribe to my channel and share this video with other people. So have a good day.